Okay, let's do it. All right. What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated. So, it's the LV Lunchtime Takeout show, man, on this New York Knicks weekly recap. Discuss last week, man, and how the Knicks looked this last week. And, of course, everybody's going to go berserk because of what happened Saturday night, right? So hopefully everybody's calmed down after having a good Super Bowl weekend. Great halftime show, all those great things happening. Good eats yesterday. So I'm out here to touch on you New York Knicks fans, see how everybody's feeling. Where's everybody at right now with this team? 34-18, third in the Eastern Conference. Still a great record. We'll go over our schedule in a second, but we got to be optimistic here. On Dios, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live during this LV Lunchtime Takeout show. New York Knicks weekly recap. So how are we feeling? How's everyone? Is everyone ready to throw this team out? Is everyone ready to say, okay, we stink? Josh Move, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live on this LV Lunchtime Takeout show. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, Josh Smooth, please subscribe to the channel, man. It's my first time seeing you coming through, rocking with me and my crew. Appreciate that, sir. So after the Super Bowl, whatever side you on, you're either happy or sad, whatever it looks like. But now you can kind of reflect, right? How do you feel about this team? What are your perspective now? What is your perspective? How do you see them? How do you feel like we rank? Do you feel like we're like a playing team? Do you still feel we are still among the contenders in this league? I think we're just fine. Even after Saturday. Okay. And the reason why I say that is because Boston is the already made product. Okay. They've had years, and I've said this on my show before, they've had years of development. And if you want to hear my honest opinion of Boston, I think Boston has reached their peak. I think this is who they are. This is them at their superpower, Super Saiyan, whatever you want to call it. This is the Infinity Gauntlet. This is Thanos. This is who they are. Are they going to get any better than this? I don't think so. And it's still damn good, right? Let's be honest. I mean, them at Thanos stage, superpowers is exceptional, right? We know who they are, right? They look like that in the playoffs last year. And I think they're going to turn it on and look that way again this year. But I think this is where they're going to max out. I think they've maxed out, guys. I think they've maxed out. Where we're still hitting our stride. We're still figuring things out. This is not the complete team, guys. Trust me, Leon and those guys are going to make some moves this summer. And maybe even down the road, too. Maybe next year or something like that. To where we're going to really get to our elite superpower status, right? We're going to get to that. But currently constructed, this is not going to be the team. It's not. We all know the certain moves they're going to have to make. Of course, we got to strengthen the bench. Of course, we got to add some, good depth pieces. You know what I mean? We don't know who's going to get moved. We don't know if that's a possibility too. Could it be Mitch? I don't know. This summer, who knows? But to think that, after a half a season, not even a full season, after a half a season, we're going to be just as good as the Celtics and we're going to beat the Celtics. I think we all were fooling ourselves, right? We all were kind of just kind of like, sipping the crazy juice. So I think that we have to kind of come back down to reality. Like this is the same talk we had after the OKC loss. We had to come back down to reality, man. We got to pump the brakes a bit. The truth hurts, man. I appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live, man. It's my first time seeing you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. The Truth Hurts. I appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. Just Knicks, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. Doing this LV lunchtime takeout show. I always do this, do my New York Knicks weekly recap. So I appreciate everybody coming through, rocking with me today. So Boston is at their peak, man. They're at their peak. We have to identify that. OKC, I think, is close to their peak. I think they're close. But remember, guys, all these teams are going to have to retain a lot of these players. OKC is going to have to retain a lot of them dudes. I don't know if they're going to be able to retain Ihart. I think Ihart's like a 2-year deal. I don't think. I mean, I think he got 4 years. But what I'm saying is that I don't think they're going to be able to keep him much longer because they got to pay Chet. They didn't pay Chet yet. They got to play Jalen Williams. They got to pay a lot of dudes over there. So they're going to get hit with that. Trust me. Boston, the same thing. Boston's already in the second apron, guys. They've capped out everything. So, you know, that team's not going to be the same in another year or two. They're not. So we got to ask ourselves, okay, all these teams, or let's go back. A couple of the teams that we are not in the same league as of now, because we're not. I'm being super honest with you. We're not in the same league as Boston. We're just not. CC, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rock with LV Live during this LV Live lunchtime takeout show. Knicks weekly recap, man. Appreciate you coming through, rocking with me. So it's a process, right? You got to go through the steps, man. You know, it's stacking days, stacking years. You got to do that. It took Boston 7 years to get to this, to what they are right now. It took OKC a couple of years to get to this right now. This is a half a season of the Knicks. So I don't want everybody jumping out the window. So this is LV bringing perspective to you guys and help you guys see the light. Because I know a lot of people rated this. I mean, this team stinks. We're done. Trade everybody. Trade Cat. He can't play defense. Like, why did we give up Randall? Like, you know, this is all the talk that's out there. I guarantee you. And it's my job to kind of pump the brakes. Reel everybody in. And so I think it's very important to realize that this is still a work in progress, excuse me. See, LV's hungry, man. It's lunchtime. It's a work in progress, man. And so we got to understand that. We got to really identify that and realize, okay, this is going to take a minute. So we can't be so quick to say, okay, you know, we stink or we're not. It takes some, it's going to take a minute, man. It's going to take a minute. And we got to really identify that. Now, with the whole Cat thing, right? You know, we know his knee was bothering him, right? We know he has defensive issues. We know that. That's another thing. That's going to take some time. Now, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live, doing this LV lunchtime takeout show. Well, the Knicks weekly recap. Appreciate you coming through, rocking with me. So this is only Cat's half a season with the Knicks. And I thought he's played out of his mind. He's been exceptional. But I do think his knee is bothering him. He did not look like himself at all. He wasn't even jumping for rebounds. 9 points, 9 rebounds for him. I mean, that's a really, really bad night. Cat's a better player than that. There's a reason why he started in the East for the All-Star game. He's been putting up monster numbers this year. But I don't think he's healthy. I think he kind of needs time. Remember, guys, he's in his 10th year in this league. He's 7 feet. Right? So it's been a lot of wear and tear on him. A lot of those guys, their body starts to break down. He's at, the end stage of this. He's probably got a good, we got to say, Cat's got a good 3 to 4 years left, maybe 5 years max in this league with those knees and those bad feet. All those big guys get those issues. So I think he's kind of capping out. He's going to, excuse me. And also, too, I said it, and I'm going to stand by it. That whole talk of him playing the 4, we need to pump our brakes with that. We need to chill out with him playing the 4. He can't play the 4, man. He cannot play the 4. There's no way. He can't move his feet. He can't move his feet. He can't go side to side. He cannot play the 4. Now, if he's guarding a 4 like a Evan Mobley, okay, right? Can he deal with a 4 like Franz Wagner? No. Can he deal with a 4 like Byron Chero? No, he cannot. You saw what Tatum did, right? Those dudes will do the same thing. These 4s are not like the old 4s, like a Karl Malone, pound the ball in, can barely move. He's like a brick, right? They're not like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be moments where he could do that with Mitch, but in small increments, man. It cannot be like big. It cannot be like, okay, we're going to start the game off with this. No. Disc Rover. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live doing this LV Lunchtime Takeout Show. Knicks Weekly Recap. So that's what I think they have to really come to realization. Now, like I said, certain sets you could do that, but don't put them at the 4. Don't do that. So I just think that, we got to really take things into perspective here. I keep on saying that, but we got to do that. I don't want everybody giving up on this team. We're 34-18. We're the 3rd team in the East still. We got Indiana tomorrow. Indiana's going to be tough. We know that. But we got to be optimistic here and understand that this has been only a half a season. And guys, even with it being a half a season, we're still a good team. We're not done building. Like I said to you earlier when I first started off this show, Boston has reached their peak. I think they're at the peak of their powers. I think this is it for them. Remember, they're in the second apron. Same thing's going on with OKC. They haven't paid all their dues yet. That's why I think iHeart's going to probably be gone from there, because there's no way they're going to pay iHeart and not pay Chet. Chet's going to get that bread. So they haven't even paid Chet yet. They haven't even paid Jalen Williams. So that team's going to get broken up. So I'm just saying, so we got to really be honest about that. So all these teams are going to start kind of like balancing out where the Knicks are going to be ascending. So then we're going to be the bully on the block. So because of how we looked in these 2 games against Boston, understand who Boston is, man. They are perfectly constructed. But it makes sense that they're perfectly constructed because this has been years of them building this. Before I started the show, I was thinking about, what is it going to take to beat Boston? What is it going to take? What do we need to really compete with them right now? And this was the lineup LV thought of. I thought of course, Brunson at the top of the key, right? Bridges at the 2. You ready? Jaden McDaniel from the Timberwolves at the 3. If we can get him, but we know he's uber expensive. OG Anunoby at the 4 to guard Jaylen Brown. Then you got Cat at the 5. Off the bench, we got DiVincenzo, we got Josh Hart, and we don't have Mitch, but we brought him back home. We brought iHeart back. And you got Deuce coming off the bench. So those 4 right there for that second unit. That's what you need to beat Boston right now. That's what you need to beat Boston right now. And look at that lineup. Look how expensive them dudes are. Jaden McDaniel. Look at what that does. Now imagine Jaden McDaniel. You could put him on Tatum. He's just as big and just as athletic. I love Bridges. Bridges is too small. Tatum's almost 6'10". Jaden McDaniel's the same size, same athleticism, will give Tatum problems. Not saying Tatum ain't going to do his thing because he is, but then you put OG Anunoby on Brown. Then Brown can't be bullying. He can't be doing all that. He can't push OG Anunoby around like that. And OG Anunoby's bigger. Brown 6'7", OG Anunoby 6'8". Then you have Dante coming off the bench with Josh Hart, with iHeart, and with Deuce. See, you need something like that to compete with Boston right now. Is that very likely? No, it's not. But that's my point, what I mean by them reaching their peak powers. You need something like that to beat them dudes. That's why it's hard, man. It's really, really hard, man, to beat these guys today. But it makes sense why it is, because this is years of them building up to that. So give us the same grace, guys. Give our team the same grace. We need this to build up. We need these type of losses to bring us back down to reality, to make Leon and them realize, okay, we ain't there yet. We need to make some changes. And that's good, because you don't want to feel like you've already arrived too soon, because then no moves are going to be made. None. And so to me, I think that's important for us to see exactly where we're weak at and where we have to get stronger at. I think that's very, very important, man. Extremely important for our future and what it is that we're trying to do and what we're trying to build. And so that's the importance of this, man, to understand who we are and what we're building, man. I think we're still good. Look where we're at, guys. We're 34-18, man. This is a great record to have for a team that was just assembled, and we're not done building yet. Also, too, Stephen Bondy just put out a report just now. He said, Tip said OG Anunoby and Mitch aren't ready yet, which I know they're not going to be. I mean, they're probably going to come back after the All-Star break. This Grover says, I didn't want to say it because it means a lot to the team, but we need a true six-man closer to Peyton Pritchard than Deuce. Look at that. This Grover, you know who it is, though, right? He's in Minnesota. That's the guy. We got to get Dante back. And I think he wants to come back. We need Dante back. That's who we need. The Truth Hurt says, I feel once we get all our players on the floor against Boston, we could beat them if we come to play. Truth Hurts, that's tough, man. We don't match up well against them, Truth Hurts. We just don't. I'm going to break it down for you in a second. Yo, CP, true Mets, Knicks. Keep on saying Mets and Knicks talk, man. That's what it used to be. CP, true Mets talk. Appreciate you coming through rocking with me during this LV Lunchtime Takeout show. Everybody, please go subscribe to my man. Anybody that's rocking with the Mets, he does great work over there. Salute to him and his guys. They do great work. Mets are going to be really good this year. Hey, CP, man, you ready for spring training? My boys is out there throwing already. I saw Max Fried out there, CP. I saw Max Fried out there. Hope you boys is ready for spring training, man. Mets are going to be good this year. It's good to have a great subway rivalry, subway series. Of course, I'm going with my boys, the Yanks, but the Mets are going to be legit this year. You got to salute them. The Mets are going to be great this year. Yeah, appreciate. Yeah, baseball season. Yeah, let's go, man. I'm excited about baseball season too, man. Hey, CP, man, listen, man. Look, I think the Yanks are back in the series this year, man. I don't see anybody in the American League challenging us, man. We stacked our lineup pretty good. I think we're gonna be back. What say you, CP, really quick, man? You guys gonna be able to get through the NL, man? The NL is tough, man. The NL is harder than the American League this year. What are you guys gonna do, man? Everybody's stacked over there, man. It's going to be tough for you guys. I think you could do it, but it's going to be tough. The Dodgers are loaded. I forgot the Dodgers got Blake Snell. Yo, man, they're just like, they're cheating over there, man. What say you, CP? Much love to you, man. Everybody go, please subscribe to my man. All right, Truth. Truth Hurts. Here's the thing, man. We can come ready to play all we want, right, with Boston. The problem is matchups. Right, you got to match up really, really well, right, with them. We don't match up well with them. We just don't. You know, it all it takes a couple of games for me to see it. You know what I mean? I played this game since I was yay high, man. I played it all through high school and college. I've said it on my show before. You know, when your team they don't match up well with us. We just don't match up well. We do not. we don't have. You got to think of their lineup when they're fully loaded, and think of us fully loaded, right? We don't have enough firepower to really deal with them, and the defensive intensity too. They're strong defensively on all corners, man. Remember, Porzingis is a legit defender. He's no scrub. Drew Holiday's elite defender. Atlantic Line, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live during this LV Lunchtime Takeout show. Appreciate you coming through rocking with me, Atlantic Line. They got Drew Holiday, right? Elite defender. They got Brown, elite defender. Tatum's an elite defender. Then you got now, I forgot the guy's name, man. Come on, man. Somebody help me. What's the other wing? He went to the Olympics. Duh. I'm like losing like my mind here. Sorry. Like I said, LV didn't eat yet. So they got all those guys on the wings right there. Elite defenders. Elite. And they're great shot makers. Vibes, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rock with LV Live. It's LV Lunchtime Takeout Show. Oh, Derek White. Just Knicks. Appreciate you coming through in the clutch, man. Derek White. So they're elite on all levels, man. And they're elite shooters. So they got, that's what we're trying to build here. They got that 5 outs to a T. So we got to defend those guys on the wings. And at the guard spot. And at, the top of the key with Porzingis. So they're elite defensively and they're elite offensively. They get up like 53s a game, man. 53s. You know what I'm saying? So, and they knock them down at a high clip. You got to say, last game they made 19 threes, man. The first game they made 29 of them things. So that's what they do. So boom, you come down, you make a 2, right? Then boom, they'll come down, bang a 3. Then you'll miss. They'll get another rebound, kick it out, hit another 3, bang, bang. Then they'll come back, get another stop, steal, and swing it over to Tatum. He'll get a dunk. Then Derek White bangs a 3. Before you know, barbecue chicken. That's how they do, man. And then they locking it up defensively. And listen, truth hurts. It's okay to say we're not ready yet. That's fine. That's okay. We've only had a half a season of this. Boston is at their peak powers, man. Their peak powers. So we just got to be honest with that. Truth Hurts says the problem is why are they open from 3? Yo, that's the problem with everybody with them, because they play a spread out. They play spread, 5 out. That's what we run. That's why we do what we do offensively, right? Truth. They play a 5 out. So everybody's a killer from 3 on that starting 5. Everybody. You cannot leave Porzingis open. You can't leave Derek White open. Do you know what Drew Holiday is? And Brown and Tatum are lethal. So what do? And you got to guard the paint because you saw what Tatum just did to Towns. It's barbecue chicken, man. I'm talking about when they're rolling. It's barbecue chicken. And you saw what happened Saturday. They ain't even have everybody. But once again, I'm not bugging about it. Because this is their peak powers, man. They're in the second apron. This ain't gonna be the same team maybe next year or the year after. And also, too, I forgot, just remembered, they're under they're trying to get like a new owner or something like that. They working through that. So new ownership's gonna come in. They might break that team up because money-wise, they can't afford certain things. So I think this is it for them. They might have maybe another season, maybe, but it's not gonna be the same team. It's not going to be the same team. So you know what I'm saying? So I mean, they're just legit, man. Josh moved that Tibbs is blind, still can't see Cat holding his knees. Yeah, man. I have an issue with that. I've talked about it on my show. Everybody that rocks with me from day one know, right? Everybody, I've talked about this all year. That's why, with the Tibbs piece, and this is why I get upset with that. you wouldn't have had to play Towns and push him through if you'd have developed someone like Akaporte, right? Because then you could have started Akaporte at the 5, let Towns rest a little bit. You could have Precious coming for Akaporte. You could do a rotation, but you got to develop these guys. Everybody in the league is developing their young players. They're playing them even when they're having a tough night. They're playing their young players. You're playing them against Chicago. You're playing them against the Wizards. You're playing them against the Hornets. You're playing them against the Jazz. You're playing your young players. Tibbs don't do that. That's the problem. You got to develop your guys. Yo, Coach, man, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. It's LV Lunchtime Takeout Show. Long time no see, Coach. Hope all is well with you. Tough night for your man, Coach. They killing Cat. I'm defending him, though, Coach. I'm defending your mans. Coach, remember, you saw it from deep. You said, Cat's coming. Cat's coming, LV. But, good to see you, Coach. So for me, you had to develop your bigs. You got to develop Dadier. And here's the reason why you got to develop these guys, people. Keith Watkins, man, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. It's my first time seeing you coming through rocking with me and my crew, man. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, man. But I appreciate you coming through rocking with me and my crew. Keith Watkins said driving. Yo, be safe out there, man. ATL out there. All right, okay. We'll see you guys in a couple of days. Play the Hawks. So it's all about development. Based on the second apron and everything that's going on financially, it's going to be extremely, extremely important for you to draft well and develop your guys because you're not going to have the money to go out and spend and have like a stacked team, but just because of the second apron. So what's going to be very important for teams to do now going forward is they got to draft really good and they got to develop their young talent because you got to, monitor the money, man. That's just what's going on in this league. So developing a guy like Dadier, and I've said this before on my show, and I'm going to say it again. Everybody that's brand new to this, I've said this. I never was in favor of drafting Dadier. I was upset they did it. I want him to do the draft Ryan Dunn from Virginia, the kid from Long Island, because he's ready to go. And I thought that coming in, he's big, too. He's about 6'7". He can come in ready to go, even though he couldn't shoot. You knew defensively he was ready to go. He's playing minutes out there for Phoenix. So he would be perfect for us coming off the bench. 6'7", I think he's almost 6'8". He's big wing, can defend. He's like a bigger version of Deuce. So he could develop the shot just like they did Deuce. But he's ready to play now because what he could do defensively. So that's important to do because you got to develop your young talent. So what happens is the Knicks are top heavy. So if Cat goes down now and sits, we can't do nothing because Akaporte's not ready to go. Why isn't he ready to go? That's my issue. That's development. We saw what Akaporte was doing back in November. Everybody was saying, yo, he needs to play over Sims. No, he didn't do that. He played well, and we didn't see him again for like 8 months. Everybody talked about it in the chat. And someone said, I forget who it was. I think it was Disc Rover. You said Tibbs sent him to a black site. He was missing in action. We said, yo, where's Akaporte? Why he not playing? It's development, man. So this is where Tibbs dropped the ball. So now, a perfect example, if Cat needs to sit because he really is bothering, his knees are bothered, Jay Smooth, what do? We don't got nothing to do. We can't do nothing. And we already knew we needed a backup big because Mitch was out. So we knew we needed a big. We drafted a big. He's Akaporte. Why not play him? Why not play him? And we're not idiots. We're not idiots. We all saw what we saw in November. We said, yo, this kid could play. Why isn't he playing, Tibbs? Tibbs with these excuses makes no sense. And then you have Precious playing a 5. He's not a 5. He's a 4. That's why he's getting worked the way he gets worked in that middle with them bigs. This girl says, no, Elvie, you don't understand. Our G League is better development for our young guys rather than real NBA minutes. Agreed. Well said, sir. Well played, Disc Rover. Well played, sir. Well played. So I'm just being honest here. And so, that's the sad part about sitting Cat, because I think he does need to sit. I think he does. He's 10 years in this league. He's a big man. His knees are probably bothering him. His feet, everything. I mean, that's just what comes with these guys. They can't play 82 games. This is not Patrick Ewing days. These guys cannot play 82 games. They can't. Their body can't withstand it. That's just what it is today. I don't know. You want to say they're weaker and they're softer? Cool. We could do whatever, but you got to change with the times. Vibe says Precious was all over the floor. He got passed around, dunked on threes over him. It was funny how everyone was passing him around. Yeah, man, because, you know, he's playing out of position, man. He's playing out of position. And Boston's different, man. Boston's different. They just are. And I like Precious. I think he's a really good ball player, but Boston is a different type of beast, man. Different. And so, you know, I think it is what it is, man. I think it is what it is in that aspect with Precious. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to some highlights, man. Let's watch some highlights while we talk about it. Everybody feel better, man. Let's see positive highlights here. This weekend had us all burnt up. Trust me, I know LV was upset. So that's the purpose of you know, of us talking about this weekly recap, because we got a good team, people. We do, right? We do. We just have to be honest with ourselves where we're at. And so I just think that that's important, man. And I think this summer that we're really going to make some changes. But I said the ceiling for us is Eastern Conference Finals. I said that. Maybe Finals. But things have to happen in order for that. You have to have somebody knock off Boston, because I just think matchup-wise, we can't beat them dudes, man. And also, too, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not too crazy about the DeAndre Hunter move for the Cavs. I thought the Cavs were rolling. Why would you change that up? I thought LeVert was good coming off the bench. Niang was good coming off the bench for them. So now you took away your bench. So now they're going to start DeAndre Hunter. Because remember, he was a starter in Atlanta. He's that good of a player. But now, what's the offensive punch you got coming off the bench? Because Garland can't defend. He can't. Boston proved that. They were cooking him all day. Brunson did a better job defensively than Garland. So LeVert can defend. Niang is solid. He was solid when he was with Philly. So you trade away those guys for another offensive guy, cool. But you got to get stops in the playoffs, man. You got to get stops. And if they think Alex Corey, whatever his name is, you think he's going to be a defensive guy, the Knicks cooked him. So Cleveland, I'm not too crazy about that move that they made with DeAndre Hunter. Yeah, I don't think you mess up your chemistry that you got going for that. You know what I'm saying? I think that was like a knee-jerk movement. I didn't like that. CP says Cavs are fraudulent, man. You heard it here first. Agree with that. Hey, CP, man. When it's a Subway Series, man, we should do a show, man. After the game, I'm gonna hop on with y'all. What say you, sir? I'm excited about the season, man. I'm excited. I like it also too, CP. Let's be honest, because I think the rivalry with the Nets, with the Yanks and the Mets needed something to kind of turn. Like, I think, you know what I mean? Like, I think the fire with Soto and the Judge, who's the best player in the city, I think that's great for the fans. I think that's great. You know what I'm saying? And I think it brings, listen, man, look, let's be honest. The Yanks have been on top for so long, you kind of get used to it. It's a regular thing. So I think this is a good kind of spice things up, man. I think it's good. You know what I'm saying? With the Soto piece. Now, everything else has got to be worked out. I think, you know, you guys got Clay Holmes. He's going to wet the bed for you guys. Be prepared for that. So you heard it here first from me. But I think it's going to be good, man, for that. And then if we meet in the series again, that's going to be iconic for the city. Beautiful. Discover says Tibbs adjusted on our stretch against the West, but as soon as the lights went bright, he turtled back into his old ways. As we, Discover, man, that's a great point, man. You know, I like Tibbs, man. I do, and I think he's a good coach. I'm not here to say let's fire Tibbs, but I do see where he's limited. I see where he is, man, and I see where he's kind of stuck in his ways with certain things that he used to do, and it's really hard for a guy like that to change. You know what I mean? It really is. Well, like I said, Tibbs is 70 years old, man. He's going to be 70. Excuse me. I think he's like 67 or 68 years old. So he's like an old relic in this league, man. So, I don't know if he's the guy to get the job done. Let me say that. I'm not saying he's not, but I'm not saying he is neither. And in this league, you got to be able to adjust. And these young coaches, like I said on my last show, are running circles around Tibbs, man. Circles around Tibbs with their adjustments. You saw what JJ Redick did to him, man. So how can't you figure that out and make adjustments to where you say, all right, I see what he's doing. Let me change this up and do this. Like, I don't understand how he can't. You know what I'm saying? So he shows where he's limited, man. And I don't know if that's going to be enough to get us over the hump, because it's easy to say, okay, because we're top heavy. We got all these guys that can light it up, right? Brunson, Towns, OG can get busy, Bridges, right? So that's the misconception is like that's easy to coach, man. You could throw any coach out there. They're gonna do their thing because we're top heavy. But how do you make adjustments when you play against the elite guys, when you play against really, really good coaches that know what they're doing? I'm not talking about these old guys that they're going to do the same thing. I'm talking about these young, sharp coaches that are like analytics junkies, man, and they're nice with that stuff. How do you adjust with them? I think that's where he's limited. That's where he's having a hard time. Because these young coaches are legit, man. They're really, really, really good. And so you got to have the mindset to come in and know how to make. When you see something's going on, you call a timeout and say, okay, I see what they're doing. Let's adjust. Let's do this. JB, we're going to run this. We're going to do that. Cat, I want you to do this. Defensively, this is what I want us to do. Boom, boom. Let's see how that works. Let's bring this lineup in. I want to match this up with it. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, so it's, so it's easy to roll the ball out there when it's top heavy and say, okay, cool, do this. Well, that's easy to do, man. But how do you handle things when your team is in a pickle, man? They really, really struggling, and the other team is getting the best of your team. What do you do with that? And I think that's where he struggles at. And so that's why, the tips piece, I'm kind of like, I'm kind of just unsure with him. Jay Smooth says, got to utilize our players. Pick the best. It's simple coaching and look at some people in the G League. Agreed, man. Agreed. That's well said. I think that the players in the G League, they're going to most likely bring up TJ Warren. They lost Okiki. They lost Okiki, which I was upset by because I thought we needed a guy like him. Big, young. He's 6'8". You need a guy like that. He's a good defensive player. You need a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. I don't know. And the reason why I'm saying I don't know, because it's easy to me. It's easy. It's all development. The way Dottie is going to develop is you playing with some of the starters. You let him develop his game. That's how he's going to get better. You play Akaporte with some of the starters like you saw against Toronto. He looks good, right? You put him out there with bums with 20 seconds left, he's going to look like garbage. It's just easy, man. That's why I had that thing, right? That KG played, right? I played it for you guys, and KG went off, and Paul Pierce, right? And I thought that was important because at the end of that, when KG and them were going off about Tibbs and stuff like that, they were like, oh, but the team, KG said it beautifully, and I loved it. He said, yo, they got a jersey on, man. They got a jersey on. They earn their spot on the team. They getting paid to be on the team. So how the hell aren't they ready to go? They got a jersey on, man. And that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes to everything. And it makes 1,000% sense because everyone in the league is doing. All these guys are playing their young players. Yume Udoka, he's playing his young players. All these guys are playing their young players, man. There's some dudes out there sometimes I don't even know their name. Look at the guy that was out there. Look, I'm showing the highlights right now. Look at the kid that was out there for Toronto. That kid Sneed. Who's that kid? He was cooking the Knicks. But they're playing him over there, right? They're playing him over there in Toronto. They're playing him off the bench. Here we go right here. Look at this kid going to the rack. He was killing the Knicks. Who's that kid? Right? So if that kid was over here with the Knicks, would he even play? Tibbs wouldn't play that kid. Look at him kid throwing alley-oops like this. Tibbs wouldn't play him, man. He would not play that kid. So that's all I mean. Like, so it's certain things. It's all about development, man. So, you know, the G League piece is ill, man, because there's players down there that can develop. And when you have the situation like the Knicks have, you know, you can't really go out and get anybody just because of the money situation. So you're going to have to, you know, look at your young talent and develop these guys. Got good players, but won't see who's good if you don't play them. Agreed. Shamit and Ryan got to go. Agreed. I don't know why Matt Ryan is there. He's, you know, taking up bench spaces, you know what I mean? But once again, like I said, they're gonna, you know, look to the buyout market, possibly look at a guy like TJ Warren, of course, and whoever else is on the buyout market. And I think that's what they're gonna go with. I mean, that's just what it is until the summer. But the reality of this is this, guys. This is the main reason why I did this LV lunchtime takeout. We got to pump the brakes. We're going to be fine. Give us time to develop. All these other teams had years to develop. We're going to be okay. All right. So everybody be optimistic and be positive. All right. Listen, guys, listen, I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the Indiana Pacers game. So please come through and check out my show, post-game show. So please come through and check it out. All right, I'm LV Live, and that's my show. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, people. Right. Also, too, if it's your first time coming through, rocking with me and my crew, please subscribe to the channel. And also, too, please leave comments because I do respond to comments. All right, I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the Indiana game. So please come through and check it out. All right, I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out of here, people. Peace.